Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Beauty and Bullshit. I'm here with my co-host, Lauren Benna, and we're here with somebody that you all definitely need to talk to, the one and only love guru, matchmaker, Carmelia Ray.
Thank you, ladies. Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Hi, guys. So tell everybody what you are all about.
Oh man, I'll be as succinct as possible. So I'm a celebrity matchmaker and online dating expert. So I mainly work with single entrepreneurs and business owners to help them find love online and offline. I've been a television personality. I've had my own TV show called Mom versus Matchmaker, where I'm in a dating competition between moms to see who's a better matchmaker for their kid. I've been on The Real Housewives of Toronto, User's Guide to Cheating Death, and just very recently, I was an expert on Love Goals on the OWN network, which aired just this March. So yeah, my day-to-day life is helping singles find love.
Love. So let me ask you, you're married, right? Kids?
Yes. I have 3 kids.
Okay, so I'm going to talk first just about, we're going to get back to the whole single life, but on a woman, because Jen is too, that are married, and we know the struggles with even that. Can you give us some advice just on, obviously every day, but now COVID hit, right? And I think we can all admit we are ready to strangle them a little bit.
Yeah.
So
you mean your partners or your children or all of them?
If you could cover it all, that would be wonderful. Because I would say mostly with the husband and wife, and I'm sure he wants to strangle me sometimes. We're just on top of each other, working from home and on top, and
Yeah, I think, it's really important that both people, like when people went into the pandemic, it's not like you failed to have that conversation of what's it going to look like. Like, how is our life going to change? Usually just fall into things and then you figure it out. And then you slowly realize that you may or may not like each other's to be in each other's space that much, right? So it's important that you communicate with your partner and ask them, what do you need? The same way that you want your partner to ask, what do you need? Maybe there's more division of workload, right? Like you're all in a small confined space. So the other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you each have an outlet for stress, whether you need some me time away from the kids. Like my husband will say to me, when do you want, like, what can I do for you? When is your me time? Like we have that agreement, because if I don't get my me time and I'm not getting certain things done, it's not a pretty picture for anybody. And more importantly, I can't really function. So you've got to have that agreement with your partner in terms of making sure they're getting their me time, right. You're getting your me time, and then you've got to have time together. There's a difference when you're together in conflict and it's the hustle bustle. And then when you are together really working on liking each other, going on dates, getting out of your COVID sweats, like putting some makeup on, not letting them see you like in your everyday, like no makeup done, no hair, like everything, right? Because like my nails aren't done. He did my pedicure not that long ago because I needed it.
Your husband did your
pedicure? He did.
Okay.
Yeah, so why? Because I really needed it. I missed the salon, but that was like one thing that he could do for me. And we have a 3-year-old. So he does her hair, her nails, everything. So I'm lucky that way. He loves to do that for her. So he does those things for me. And so that's my advice. Of course, chill out, give yourself the space to like separate a little bit, right? And don't always be in each other's space. I think you want to try to be as normal as possible. And that means you can't get out of the house. Maybe go for a walk, get out of the house. You don't realize the psychological impact it has when you feel so confined, right? And then you get on each other's nerves. So make sure that you have an outlet to be with your friends, pick up a phone and try not to take it out on your partner. That's your ally. It's supposed to be the person that you're going through this with. And I get it. Sometimes you look at them and you want to throw a plate at them or whatever the case is, right?
But I like that you're saying that. Like I always say, my husband and I have been together. He's going to yell at me if he were to hear this upstairs because I forget dates and times. But I think
they need their time too. They need their cave time, right? And then don't bitch about their cave time. Like for ladies, you got to give them their time just as the same as you have your time. And you put that in the schedule. And if that means you go to bed a little early or you wake up a little earlier so that you can get that, we all have to make these kinds of adjustments. And if you notice they're irritated, the best thing that you can do is to be in service and to stop thinking about self. It's really hard to do. Like when you're thinking about yourself, what you need, what you don't have, you can frustrate easily. But when you're thinking about others and being like, what can I do for them, and taking it off of yourself, you're fully capable. You got everything that you need. Like, what can you do for your partner, and and what are things you can be grateful for? Those are always easy ways to get check back in reality and go, okay, we're both in this together. We're both in a very unprecedented time. We're both dealing with things. Don't make it just about you. And I think that's hard to do when we're frustrated, right? But I think it's important to like be there for your partner as a support person.
Now, because I had this on my head before Jen jumps in real quick, because it's in my head, saying that, I feel like the divorce rate, I mean, we know it's definitely up, and people seem to, I mean, they jump out of the marriage thing. You hear the cheating, the this, there's so many dating, you know, why do you think that is more? Like, why are people?
Oh, funny you say that, because I'm actually coaching several new women. They happen to be women. I coach men and women, but I am coaching several new women that during the pandemic have had a breakup. Some of these breakups were completely left field, like where one is like, had no clue like this was coming, like a train wreck, right? So part of that is when you're in a time of crisis, like right now, it forces, some people have slowed down. And what are they doing? They're thinking about their life. They have time to reflect. Do I want to be in this relationship? Does this make me happy? Do I like myself, right? So I did a talk, couples in crisis or couples in quarantine, like week 4 of COVID, a pandemic. Why? Because I was one of those couples that was in crisis that needed to talk to someone. So I brought on like a divorce expert, a breakup expert, a family therapist, because things were like pretty crazy in the beginning. And me, I'm extremely social. I would say 60% of the time I'm out with clients. I'm at the Soho House. I need that social interaction. It's just part of my DNA to get out. And so with me not being able to get out, that was really bothering me, right? And I think it's so easy to see your partner as a target to like bitch and complain at. But why people are breaking up right now, I think it's that the focus is on the problems. And when you focus on problems versus solutions, you're only going to get more problems, right? And maybe it's a good opportunity. Some relationships need that break. And some relationships, the pandemic caused them to really force themselves to look at their partnership and say, look, if I can't live with this person during a pandemic, then I shouldn't be with this person. And that's the sad reality of some of these relationships that needed this pandemic to reevaluate and to start over.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Not fun.
Words of wisdom. Literally the other day, I'm like, why are you blinking? Why are you blinking when you are looking at me? I need a moment. Or why do you have to breathe like that? You know, it's just, but thank you. Those are gems. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So a lot of people have been writing in. I've gotten so many different, the website has gotten so many interactions from all these people that, just
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
So I thought this was a funny question, but it's actually, if you think about it, is what is politically correct. So somebody is a single male, and he wrote, how many people is it okay to be dating when you're casually dating, but also looking for love?
So I missed what you said in the beginning. He's a what male?
A single male.
Okay. Single male saying how many people should you be dating?
like what is okay, like the okay number of people that you could date when you're looking for love, but you're also casually dating? I thought it was funny. I'm like, oh,
yeah, no, I think it's okay to date the number of women that you can remember their name. Okay, I think that when you're juggling too many women and you can't remember their name, that's a problem. You know, I have somebody right now, a client that's dating 3 guys casually. Now, 3 men are easy to find, and one of them is on the out, so she's already saying, I need a third. Like 3 is the good number for her, right?
Well, do you set rules for your clients? Like, is there like a no kit? Like, do you have like a simple,
there are really no hard rules, but I do, if you want a long-term relationship, I do say really avoid sex on a first date. I think that is a rule and they've been broken. Those rules have been broken,
Okay.
but I am saying that if you're looking for a long-term relationship, there's plenty of time to focus on intimacy. So just don't have sex on a first date. The other rule I have is, of course, manage the texting and communication appropriately. Find out in the beginning, are they a texter? Are they a caller? Some people want to text every morning or text every night, and some people are not big on communication. So you got to be aligned in terms of like, how are we going to communicate? So that's another, I would say, not necessarily a rule, but a discussion that you would have. And of course, during pandemic, you want to be clear on the protocol and their comfort level on seeing each other. Will they do a social distance date? Are they going to do video? This has been a frustrating time for singles too, because there are some people that want to meet in person in social distance, and there are some people that don't want to meet. And then when they get together, they realize they have opposing, like somebody's getting anxious, the other person's like, I guess they're treating their lack of interest in going out with them as a lack of interest, when really it's just a concern for this pandemic. And ladies, do you have children, Lauren? Yes or no?
I have 2.
Okay. How old are your kids, if you don't?
10 and 8, he'll be 9 in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, what we've learned about COVID so far is that kids are the least vulnerable in this situation, but we don't want our kids to have it, right? Let's face it. We don't want our kids to get sick.
Right.
I don't want to get that. And I've known people that have it. And again, the degree to which you're impacted by this COVID is so unknown that we don't want to, put ourselves at risk. Sure. But that being said, that's also another thing that people need to be clear about before they engage. Are you going to see each other? Are you going to wear a mask and gloves? Like, there's so many different things to like talk about. But back to your first question, I think it's totally fine to date multiple people, so long as you can keep an account and record of that person. I'm like being really serious here.
I know.
Too many people that you're juggling, and now you can't devote, because what is the purpose of your dating anyway? If your purpose is to date casual, then just be clear about that. How many, and then how many sexual partners do you want? You talked about just dating. So when it comes to, if you find one sexual partner, like, do you need more than one? Like, do you need a Friday and a Saturday? Like, I don't get it. Right? Like, what is the point here? So I'm going to assume, especially in this time, if you're looking for a connection, if you just want to try all the flavors, then go nuts. But if you're trying to get to know people, there's a limited amount of time in the day, in the week, that you can date, get to know somebody, and still like have your own space to do whatever other things you need to do. If now you have all the time in the world to actually invest in that person, the more you spread yourself out, how much time and attention can you really give to those individuals in the process of getting to know them? I think you should have a dating process. You should be progressing, and you should be eliminating people if they don't fit what you're looking for quickly, and then continuing that cycle. But again, based on your objective. Most people, when they're dating for long term, they won't date more than, I think 3 is really that magic number. They usually won't date more than 1 or 2. But I also caution people to just, when they stop dating all 100% because they really like this one person, it takes a lot to build momentum. And when you stop that momentum and you start over again, it's like, kind of like doing, you know, trying to lose that 10 pounds. You lost the 10 pounds, then you like blow it up, and then it takes so long to get to lose that weight. You work so hard. It's the same thing in dating. If you take yourself out of the game and you're not creating new conversations and you're not creating new messaging, it can dry up really quickly.
Wow. I have to say, going on with that, again, I'm married, not single, but like when I was single, like I would go out to a bar, you know, I would find somebody attractive and hope like, you know, you kind of flirt, look at them, they check you out. And then, you know, obviously now there's the dating apps, but now COVID happened, right? Nobody's out. So everybody is literally, right? I mean, is it like you're looking strictly on physical appearance? We did post that amazing interview that you did, and it hit.
Oh, the one with the racial thing?
Yes. And I wanted to touch base on that real quick, because dating sites and all these dating things, I feel like, I always say, I mean, me and Jen had this conversation. If I was single today, I would have a really big problem still not going to the bar. And my interest is strict, like, obviously I want to be physically attractive to someone, but you have to make me laugh. Like, if you have no personality and you are the hottest guy ever, it's like very unattractive. That's when I met my husband, he made me laugh. There wasn't this like, oh my God, he's so hot. He made me laugh, and I'm like, oh my God, he's really cute. So when this kind of situation happens, and going also on what you were saying, how does that whole thing work? Like, I want to put it together on dating sites, physically looking at someone that's not my type, not my type. And then also going to, I want to kind of talk about.
You know, it's so funny when you, and I have my phone here, but when you say not my type, my type, as a matchmaker, because to me, a true match is more than surface level. If you are going to judge simply by looks, I think that's a big mistake, a huge mistake. Now, it also depends on your platform. Tinder was made for that.
Right.
And frankly, Bumble, all the swiping apps where you have limited data, limited information, and your first decision is on appearance, then my advice to you would, even if it's a 6, like your metric, everybody's metric is different. If it's a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 and above, it's worth looking deeper. If you're just looking for the hottest person on the app, guess what? Everybody else is swiping right on the hottest person on the app, right?
Right.
A lot of people that get bypassed, and I work with a lot of singles to actually make them over. You girls, we know what we've seen incredible makeup transformations, okay? Incredible makeup. In fact, a lot of people on dating apps don't really take the time to fix themselves up. So that person who might be a 7 or a 6 or whatever your metric is, maybe you're not feeling it.
Right.
As you said, how can you take like personality in the mix? That's not even there. What about key life values? What about, again, personality, compatibility in terms of other interests that matter to you, right? Like, are they good parents? Do they have a great relationship with their family? Do they have a good job? Like, what are the things that really matter to you? Can you tell that in a photo? Absolutely not. But the new thing that apps are doing is that they are now incorporating video. So at least, I think if you're at least leading with a video or a social profile, I get a sense of you girls, right? Like, you get a bit of a sense of me. But I'm sure we're all better in person, because now we feel the energy. We can watch the body language. We can smell them. We can touch, smell and touch, all those things put together. Then, like you said, they can make you laugh. I know so many men and women that light up a room, but if you stood them in a line based on looks, they wouldn't be the first obvious choice. But they open their mouth, they make you laugh, they're so charismatic. Like, that instantly makes somebody who's your 7 like a 20, because they get you. Sorry?
I was gonna say, no, can't you even say that with like girlfriends when you're meeting like a girl for the first time as like a friendship, and you look at someone and you're like resting bitch face? Like, right? Can't we say we'll judge someone just by like the way they're standing. I mean, I feel like I sometimes have resting bitch face a lot, and people might be like, she's a bitch, but I'm like literally the most stupid, like la la la, whatever. Jen, can you back me up on that?
She's like, no, you're actually a bitch. Well, I actually can't, but no. It's very true. It's very true. I think when people are online and they're looking for ideals, you know, you find gold in chances or swiping on maybes. I think maybes actually have a much better likelihood for real connection, because the sure things, you know, there's, and I'm not saying this as a generalization. I also don't want people to not, let's put it this way. The best looking people on the app, they get lots of attention, period.
Right.
And they're inundated. The other aspect of it is, if you're going to message the hottest person on the app or who you think is hot, you better come with something unique. You better come with full sentences with grammar that is checked, and more than just a, hey, what's up? Like your profile, check mine. Not happening. Yeah. You got to really step outside and be unique and point something out that you noticed about them that somebody else would have missed. And men, if you're commenting just on a woman's looks, bad idea. And same with ladies, just commenting on a guy's looks or physique. He knows he's got a great body. He knows he's good looking. So comment on something else, like the photo, the dog, the, you know, something he wrote on the final last sentence of the profile to show, oh my God, they read it all the way to the bottom. That means that they actually wanted to get to know me. And in that case, yourself too, if you're single and you're posting a profile, give them something to talk about. Post an interesting photo, post a recent photo, write something about yourself that gives an indication of who you are, and not just a quick upload picture, fill in the basic blanks. That doesn't work either, because people can tell that you just did the minimum requirement to get on the app. So it translates to, you're not really that serious about this approach, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have a question? Because I have a question from somebody that wrote in that's like really, really good that I want to get into. Yep. Okay. Because this we could all relate to, especially women. All right, ready?
Yeah.
I'm a single woman. I would love to get married and spend my life with someone I love, but I do not want kids, just not in my future. I also am an entrepreneur and have several businesses. I feel like men find me intimidated because I don't need to be taken care of. I'm not ashamed to be a strong, confident, and powerful woman. What is up with that?
Oh, I want to work with her.
I'm like, I love you. I love you.
I want to work with her. Right. Those are the people I work with. You know, there's one thing that I would say about women also who label themselves as intimidating and who also know that they've got a lot to offer. And you'll hear this all the time from several coaches. The intimidation part comes with leading with their masculine. No guy ever wants to compete with their partner. And guys think it's incredibly sexy to date a woman who's confident. In fact, Match.com releases an annual survey called Singles in America, where they survey a certain pool of their users, and they gather data and they ask really, you know, an array of questions about love, sex, technology, all kinds of things. And they do this annual report. And in one of the surveys, it said 37% of men find entrepreneurial women to be like extremely sexy, and confidence being the number one. So when she says, what's up with that? I mean, I don't know really what she means by that, but if she's leading with her masculine and her profile is more like, look at all the things I've done, men don't necessarily care about that. They care about your heart. They care about loyalty. They care about your being nurturing. They care if you have empathy and that you're not that demanding high power alpha. They might like the alpha, but they don't want to date that, right? They don't really want to date that. So there's still to a large degree, these gender roles of what's expected of women and what's expected of men, right? So, like you expect men to be gentlemanly.
Right.
Yes,
Well,
Sure,
going
no.
going on the gender roles, like does the open the door and like paying the bill, like does that still apply? Because like my husband opens the door, we teach my son you never hit a girl, like all that. But if I work a long day, I go home, I'm like, Mama's paying for dinner, like we're gonna go out, and I like that. Like that's like and he's good with that. But does that not apply sometimes? Like,
Yeah, well, you're married already, so there's a difference when you're courting and when you're married, and it also depends on your age group. I think Generation Z, which are your younger people, 20 now 22 and under, and millennials will probably tend to be more fair or okay with that split kind of situation. But I think still when it's first date, I
yeah,
really still think that it's expected that the guy pays
yeah.
no matter what. It's kind of cheap. Should we split this? I don't know.
No,
None of my clients ever split the bill. The
I agree
men
on that.
always take it. And holding a door open, there's absolutely nothing wrong. I don't think if we have to, like, if there's somebody that's offended with you opening the door, I don't know. I can't speak to that. I don't think there's anything wrong with someone with being polite and being courteous.
Like I still
So,
teach my son that.
yeah. So the strong women can own that they're strong, but just don't lead with that. And if you consider yourself, if that's subconscious, I'm intimidating, guess what? You're probably intimidating. Right? You shouldn't really be thinking of yourself as intimidating. Be welcoming, smile, be approachable, make great eye contact. What is intimidating about that? She may just not be hanging in the right circles. Because the right man is going to find all of your power really sexy. He's going to be like, wow, that's the girl for me. Not, I don't know if I can handle her. Wrong guy. Just the wrong guy.
Absolutely. So the next question that I have is from a single mother who is divorced. She said, what advice would you give introverts that are not looking for the wham, bam, thank you, ma'ams?
Well, first of all, if you're an introvert, you need to be doing something to get out there. The excuse of being an introvert is not going to help you in your dating life. Now, how to avoid the wham, bam, thank you, man? Well, first of all, don't engage with guys that are like that, right? So if you're getting approached and attracted to by all the wham, bam guys or the F boys, then look at your profile. What is your photo saying? What's the energy of your profile? Are you leading with sex in terms of your sex appeal because you want to attract guys? But what message is that giving? So you want to create a profile and tell a story about yourself that says, I want serious relationship. I'm not if this is casual, not for me, and it needs to be explicitly in your profile, the kind of relationship that you're looking for. And I think some women are fearful of that. I think some ladies are afraid to say that they want a long-term committed relationship, right?
I'm glad you said that, because we had so many people that emailed us with that question, like, I'm divorced or I'm single, and I go out in these sites and it's like, that's what I feel that guys want, or I don't want to put it out there. Maybe that's the thing, is to put it like it's
you have to say what you want, and that way you attract it. And you don't do it in a don't message me if. You just have to say what you want. I'm interested in finding a life partner. I'm interested in meeting someone to travel the world with. I'm interested in meeting someone to build a family, to have fun. If you're interested in someone for part-time pleasure, write it down. It doesn't matter what it is. Just be clear about it, right? Don't worry about it. Like, oh, should I say I want long-term? I don't want to be desperate. Well, what would you rather? Would you rather have 100 inappropriate guys message you? Or would you rather have your profile attract the right people?
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. She left. I guess she.
No, I think she got. This is called technology. She's probably gonna get back in when she has connection.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask one more question, and then I do want to wrap it up and stuff. But this was my favorite question and actually made me laugh out loud because
Okay.
you're going to crack up. This is a 2-part question. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been married for almost 18 years, love my husband, and have 3 beautiful kids. But let's be real, our relationship has gotten boring. I watch a romance film and I think, oh my God, I want butterflies again. I want to be swept off my feet. Can that ever happen again with my husband? And then her second part question was, but I want some 50 Shades up in here. Kids are upstairs, nuggets in the toaster, bend me over the kitchen and take me. Am I just wishful thinking? Do I dare bring this up to my husband? I love her.
Yeah, every woman's question right there. So a couple things. You are responsible for creating the romance that you want in your relationship. So some men need to be taught or reminded that you are still interested in sex, that you still want to be swept off your feet. And men are simple beings. They want to please you. I mean, most guys, if they still are in love with you and they're still with you, they want to be praised. They're like pets. You want to get petted? This is what you got to do, honey.
Right.
You know, mama wants this. and I need you to do this. And it may not seem romantic to you, but if you got to write the instructions and let them know, you know, give them the hints, the obvious ones, because the other thing, ladies, they don't take hints. They need direct, clear orders. And if that looks like I'm getting a babysitter, I'm wearing something, you're taking me, and that's what's happening. Right. Oh my God. Like, what is wrong with, there's nothing wrong with that. Secondly, teach them what you want. So if you want that spontaneity, be spontaneous. If you want sex to be back or a priority, go out, get that outfit, go get the trench coat, go get the candles, make the dinner, romance him, but also teach him, right? And the other thing is you can tell them what you want. So is it possible? Yes. How willing are you to put yourself at issue and to not even be embarrassed? You shouldn't be embarrassed. This is your husband.
You should be 100%.
Yeah, let him know. Hey, you know what? It's like, we need a little more something in this situation, right? Like buy erotica if you need to, like take a chapter out of the page and see, you see this, you want 50 Shades of Grey? Get the page that you want him to do. So here's the instruction manual. Read it and get back to me. Like whatever you got to do, you got to teach them that.
Yes, but it is communication. Like I always say, that's my one thing of like, I couldn't be single today because just to get part of that starting new and being uncomfortable. Like, you know, when you're married, like you said, when your husband did your pedicure, I'm like, that is amazing. Even before this, when I was on bed rest and I couldn't do my hair, I knew like he could do my hair or he could do something. Like it's that person you lean on for anything.
Right, but imagine if you wanted him to do that, but you didn't ask him to do that. Like there are
why would he know that?
There are some people that, or some women and men that want things, but they don't express it. And they don't say that. And then they get frustrated because they didn't pick that up.
Of course.
Well, guess what? You should have date night.
Yes.
And you should create that. So if it's when someone says it's getting boring, they've fallen into a routine, they're not prioritizing each other, or they're not asking the question, what can I do for you? Right. When you are in, again, it's so important that when you're in a relationship that you take it off you. Yeah. If you're bored, what are you going to do about it? If your relationship is stale, what are you going to do about it? Who do you need to be? And what do you have to say to get what you want? It's so funny because I interviewed a guy today, Chris Voss, master negotiator, teaches the art of persuasion. He has a master class on it. So I'm like, all right, so if I wanted something to happen, what am I going to do? I'm going to learn the art of persuasion. Right. I'm going to sharpen my skills and figure it out. Right. So find the key to happiness for your man and make it a reward system. Right. Hey, if this happens, you can get that toolbox that you wanted.
Oh my God. You are amazing. You are just like, I could talk to you all day. I'm so upset we lost Jen because
Yeah. Oh
you,
my goodness.
and I'm like, and I wish you were closer, but you said you'll come to Jersey.
I will. I absolutely will.
So our clients know, do you take people from everywhere? Like
I do. I have clients from everywhere. I coach people by Zoom.
Okay.
I coach people by email, by text. I'm a matchmaker. So if you want to be matched, it doesn't matter where you are. Soon as pandemic's over, I'm coming to Jersey anyway, because I have friends and clients in New York. So I'll come to New York. Definitely will see you guys at the salon.
And I'm gonna do a quick game with you before I
Yeah,
get.
okay.
We always end with a game anyway.
Okay.
So since you work with celebrities, I don't know if you could do this because I know there's a whole system, but our game is gonna be pretending that I am a celebrity, and I don't know if you need to know stuff. Who would be the celebrity male or whoever that you would set me up with?
I am so bad with names. That's my
okay.
problem.
Names. You could give me.
Okay, so usually, tell me about what's important to you in a partnership. Like
so what would be like my type, or in a partnership?
Yeah.
What, like if I was
immediately what comes to mind is I think Jim Carrey.
Oh my God. Well, I need funny. He has to be funny.
Like I think not because necessarily of looks, because I would have thought I'm bad with names.
No,
Matrix
okay.
guy. Wait, who's Matrix?
Wait,
Keanu Reeves. I'm thinking of all the Canadians because I'm Canadian.
So
but see, Keanu Reeves is more intense.
Love him.
He's not
take the intense.
Right? And then
and who else?
Well, one of my favorite actors is Nicolas Cage. I'm a
Nicolas Cage fan. Always.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, but just always a fan. But yeah.
Okay, so I'd ask more like, give me the top 3 most important qualities that you want in a partner.
Well, I always say like probably funny. You have to be funny. Because
Okay.
if I was single and I had kids, it would have to be a family oriented. Like have to be okay with kids.
Okay.
And I don't know, because I've never thought of like like I'm looking at my husband. He's very he's very all about his family. He's like a family man. So like, like he's very like family man. He's very
okay. So funny. Someone who's family oriented, someone who's funny. Who else?
Yeah. And probably maybe spontaneous. Like if it was just a random day, he'd be like, "Let's go to the beach or let's do something." Not boring. And
Johnny Depp.
Hygiene is everything.
Oh, then maybe not Johnny Depp. I was gonna say Johnny.
I do like a motorcycle. There's that side, but then I have kids, so it's like that. Border.
Johnny Depp.
Love Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is one of my top.
Drew Carey. Sorry, I said not Drew Carey. Johnny Depp. What did I say? The first guy, the funny guy.
So Ryan Reynolds is not in my future. You're telling me? What is happening?
Matt Damon's a funny guy, a family guy. Right, Matt Damon. So I'm cheating because I went 75 top hot actors, and I don't know your type, but
so you want to know my type? Well,
The Rock is a family. The Rock is a family.
I don't. You can't be too muscular. Like I don't like a skinny. Like if I could pick you up and you can't pick me, like, but I don't like when they're so beefy. Like Rock is hot. Don't get me wrong.
All right, well, you picked him. It was Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds? That's it. Yeah! Ding, ding, ding. I'm going with that one. Ding, ding, ding.
And, this guy, Wentworth Miller. Do you know who he is?
No, but, I do know who he is.
Yeah, he's a little, no, you know what? He's LGBT, so no. Mark Wahlberg.
See, I'm like the only one who doesn't find him attractive.
But it's not about.
Yell at me for that.
Mr. McConaughey?
Yeah, hi, love.
Okay.
When he's not like crazy, bony, skinny, but I love.
Yeah, there we go. And then Russell Crowe.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, take your pick of those.
You are the best. I can't even thank you enough. Really.
Thank you so much for having me. And if your people have questions and I wasn't able to answer them, post them on the link. I will answer them. They can follow me.
Where they can find you.
Yeah, they can follow me at Carmelia Ray on Instagram, and then my website is carmeliaray.com. I'm so easy to find. Carmelia Ray, Google. It's the same on LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere. I made it super, super easy. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it. You're amazing.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys. See you next
Bye.
time.